We are a US company, but have some credit card expenses in Canadian dollars. Should they be entered into the accounting system as of the transaction date or the posting date? Or do we need to take both into account and have a gain loss on currency account? Super question, and I understand. I understand what you're facing. You want to separate this into two separate issues. One is the date that the transaction needs to be recorded, and the other, whether you record it in the home currency or the currency it was transacted in, and whether you have a gain loss. So we're going to deal with each question separately. The first question of the transaction date. Always record expenses, the credit card expenses, on the date the card was swiped, when the purchase was made. And it's going to show up with that date in the credit card statement and in the credit card's online records. And there are a couple of reasons why you would do this. One, whether you're on a cash basis or the accrual basis, it's been paid for because credit card counts as payment, whether you're on a cash basis or accrual basis. Hey, Deborah. And two, it has certainly been incurred. I mean, unless it's a prepaid credit card expense. So whether you're talking about paying on time, or paying before the fact or paying after the fact, whether, if the credit card's been swiped from a cash basis or the accrual basis, you want to definitely record this as of the transaction date. Whether you record it as a prepaid or expense it is another issue, but you definitely want to use the date on which the card was swiped or the information was entered. The other issue of, are you going to enter it in US dollars, which is in this case the home currency, or in Canadian dollars and have a gain loss on currency account? I don't know the size of the organization. I don't know the reporting requirements. If you're asking me this as a small organization, a small business, or a small nonprofit, and if you don't have a lot of international currency transactions, if generally accepted accounting principles don't require you to have a gain loss on currency account, I would skip it. For all practical purposes, in businesses that don't have a lot of international transactions, the only purpose to have a gain loss account is to make a decision if you want to have some kind of a hedge. If you do a lot of business between Canadian dollars and US dollars, and if you want to find out if there should be some kind of a hedge protection against any fluctuations, because if you think they're going to amount to something, then have some downside protection. Okay, I get that. But if it's not required externally and you don't do a lot of them, that's a lot of extra work for no benefit at all. So that's my answer to that question. I do want to add that certain accounting systems that handle multiple currencies will calculate this automatically for you. If that's the case and you have a gain loss account appear in your financial statements automatically, don't sweat it. Let it be there. And if at the end of a reporting period you believe that it's immaterial and you want to reclassify that to the underlying expense account, because A, it keeps the income statement a bit cleaner, and B, it's going to make more sense to the people interpreting that income statement and making decisions based on that information, then do a monthly, quarterly, or annual reclassification from the gain loss account to the underlying expense account that's associated with the credit card charge.